shiny, shiny, plastic, black mirror fascist, obsessed capitalist. Are you feeling guilty Catholic? Pretty, picturesque Facebook status, happy family and happy marriage, like the magazine pages, superimposed with Photoshop and happy faces, where cancer doesn't exist, and your daddy lives for ages, and the black babies with the swollen bellies are only moments on your telly until you switch it off and put your makeup on. So walk your dog vegan and put your makeup on, posing perfectly pouting and put your makeup on. Hypocrite, selfie, snowflake nation, not making a difference, not voting, not independence, cause it's irrelevant to how your hair grows. You're pretty, and it's a pity that you're prepared to perpetuate your particulars on Instagram and prefer not to educate and overcomplicate an avocado like you know the answers to the problems of this world. Meditation and mindful. How about realistically having kids to feed on minimum wage and suicidal without letting your wife know? Cause I don't kill myself for fashion, not a psycho for the sake of it. Hate the name of it and really ashamed of it. I hate your glossy, double tongue, so in circle, talky, trashy magazine. Like Sebastian's dreams, your friends are just old plastic, and it's lonely out there. I don't care about your implants or artificial intelligence, agony ants, chitty chat irrelevance, designer shirt and pants. So keep on spending, goodbye pretty people. It's such an ugly ending, keep pretending, keep on telling yourself that you're so important, like everyone else, like everyone else, like everyone else. Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people. Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people. Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people. Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people. Pretty. Fight for your rights, but you die to lose.
Goodbye, pretty people, I'll miss you. All your little giggling and self-serving circles, self-absorbed, oh shallow surface, all that fucking money and totally worthless, in entirety distractive. A life without purpose, your embodiment is everything wrong, emboldened by your Harvey Nicks arrogance, echo chamber, industrial multiplier, factory line features and adjusted plastic artifice, cosmetically cybernetic immortality activist agents. Away with your moisturizing skin armor nonsense, swigging beard lotion against a Georgian backdrop. One-sleeved tops are a symptom of civilization in decline. Beggars rocking 100-pound trainers with metallic shell toes. Designer baby accessories with perfect lips and a pre-birth sense of what looks fucking fabulous. It's ridiculous, marvelous, purebred, beautiful offspring of the embassy. Laughing at the wannabes that think that greed is power. The hours tick by, I know you want is everything endless. You are now living in the culture with the locust consumer. Target population, proof of fashion, housing, online grooming saloons. Pretty predator class, deadly privilege picking flesh in the populace fast. The terrorist victim look is this year's heroin chic. Superior models to snap them pop-up bomb sites, popping prescription antidepressants, propping up debris arranged in artistical splatter patterns. Little ray of ignorant exception at the tipping point. You're dragged to the ground by the teeth of natural selection. We defecate upon your form, prone upon your back and bleeding in round the scissor man. Snicker, snack. Your entrified empathy, ultimately empty. Dead heart, pretty face, piss upon your memory. Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people. Pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people, pretty people. Pretty.
What is up, everybody, and what is up, CD?
What is doing, my man?
I don't know. Do you need an introduction?
I don't know.
Why don't you tell everybody who CD is? Like who we talking to right now?
CD is a retired cop. This case has drawn me in just like everybody else, and I'm here to.
Where were you a cop from, though?
I was in NYPD, and then I transferred.
Biggest cities in the world.
Yep, let me tell you something. You learn very fast there, and it's not a learn, tomorrow. It's learn now. And the biggest thing was I was in the class of 9/11, which is known to anybody in the NYPD as the 9/11 class. That's just what it's known as. Longest. I got to raise my volume. Longest class in the history of the NYPD, and it's never going to change. I mean, we got pulled out.
Heroes, man. So you guys were heroes. We appreciate it. Honestly, it was beautiful to watch you guys having to kind of work through those ashes. I mean, we
Let me
appreciate
tell
it,
you,
honestly.
it's something you'll never forget. I actually was assigned for 2 days right after 9/11 at Lexington at the Armory, and that's where the family members came with their photos of their missing loved ones. And dude, I was 22 years old. I mean, you want to talk about your heartstrings being pulled, seeing them, children. I'm sorry, I got a lollipop. Let me put that down. Children holding up a sign, of their parents that are missing. Dude, it's just, I grew up fast. 22 years old. I grew up very
Traumatized.
fast.
You traumatized
Oh yeah.
me.
Oh yeah. Right. I mean,
I
I was
was
driving
18
down with
when it
another
happened.
guy. Yeah, you see, you're 4 years younger than me. We were driving down. We were on the West Side Highway, doing even way before 25 miles out. You see the smoke in the air, and you're thinking to yourself, "What the hell am I doing?" I was 22 years old. I had
Yeah.
guys in my academy class that were 35, right on the line. Where next year they
All
couldn't be a
you
cop.
knew, all you knew is that you had balls, and that's all we
Yeah,
needed.
yeah.
That's all we
And we
needed, man.
set up. I'll never forget the day. I was, because there was an A squad and a B squad. So one week you're 7 to 3, the next week you're 3 to 11 in the academy. And we were at 3 to 11. So we got called in at 10 a.m. They called everybody in. We set up the whole gymnasium. We set up as a triage. I'm talking 600 beds. They're expecting hundreds of people to come injured. We got zero, nobody. You would, I mean, just you're looking around after it's done. It was 6 o'clock, and you're just waiting, like, nobody's coming,
And
dude.
you're saying because they weren't injured, they were deceased.
Yeah, there was
Oh
nobody to
man.
save.
Well,
There was nobody to save. The only people that got saved, I mean, you see the videos, dude, covered. I mean, my mother-in-law worked down the city, and she had to walk across the bridge because everything was shut. She was covered in ashes. It's just a real wake-up call to America. But listen, nothing good came from that day except for the country coming together as one and remembering, this is the free world here. They attacked the free world, and just seeing, I was on foot posts for the holidays and stuff, and just people from every country wanting to take a picture just with an NYPD cop, just to remember they were here, and you see it. Everybody's hurting, they're crying. This is 3 months later, and they're still feeling it. It was a serious day, and I spent a day at the Javits Center, which was the morgue. And dude,
yikes.
you could just think about, what was brought in and what was there as a body. It wasn't a body, dude. It was a bone, a tooth. Dude, just
And then the rescue attempts, man, that was hard to watch.
yeah,
Just for
it
weeks
was.
and weeks after.
I was just talking to the Reddit crew. There's a little chat, and we were just talking about 9/11.
Yeah.
And I remember we were about to cross the street. We were heading into the academy on one of the days, and it's when Officer Moira Smith was found. They found her that morning, and they were driving up 2nd Avenue. They found her body, and just the 40 police car procession for this woman. And we went to that funeral, and I'll never forget her daughter, beautiful little kid, 3 years old, standing on the steps, and just, her mom's gone, dude. For what?
Wow.
Because they wanted to hurt America. Her mother was a hero, Moira Smith. I'll never forget her, and I'll never forget that child. And that child now is,
They hurt us.
24 years old. Oh, they hurt us.
It
Yeah,
still
they did.
hurts.
Oh, it does, absolutely. Being down there, it was an experience you'll never forget, man. Really. So
I know you got a lot to say in regards to the Delphi case. So I'm
Yep.
always happy to have you on. I know that
Oh, yeah.
it's going to get deep, and it's going to get deep fast.
Yeah.
Before we get started, there is something that I want to read real quick.
Absolutely, yeah.
But everybody that has not yet subscribed to CD's channel, I did put the link in the description. So just click
Awesome.
that, and it'll take you right there to his homepage.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
But one thing I want to mention before I read this is I'm not a Bible thumper. I am a Christian, but I'm not a Bible thumper. Okay, I don't go around judging people, or I don't take that as God's word, so to speak. But I do want to read this. This is from the New King James Version. It's Matthew chapter 4, verse 1 through 11. Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, afterwards he was hungry. Now, when the tempter came to him, he said, "If you are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread." But he answered and said, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by the word that proceeds from the mouth of God." Then the devil took him up into the holy city, set him on the pinnacle of the temple, and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge over you, and in their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against the stone." Jesus said to him, "It is written again, ye shall not tempt the Lord your God." Again, the devil took him up in an exceedingly high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he said to him, "All these things I will give you if you will fall down and worship me." Then Jesus said to him, "Away with you, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Lord God, and him only you shall serve." Then the devil left him, and behold, the angels came and ministered to him. So I just wanted to kind of get that out there before we get started, just to kind of show everybody where we're coming from, or where I'm coming from. All right, man, what's on your mind?
Like it. Well, happy that it's finally out there so everybody can, see and hear it, and I did hear how I guess Murder Sheet, did contact the family, and when you just think about the families, that no matter what, that's hard,
Why
seeing
contact
it.
them if you're just gonna tell them no anyway? It's kind of like, I'm just kind of giving you the heads up, but we're gonna do it anyway type of deal.
I know. I don't know, man. I just, we're reading it and we're feeling it. You're feeling what a predator he is. What a predator TK most more than likely is, and how he was grooming Libby, and it's very hard for the family to take in, and I feel horrible for them. I do. It was gonna when the arrest is finally made, all these documents are gonna come out. I mean, they are. It's tough that they were told that catfish wasn't it, social media wasn't it, and they believed that for 4 years and 9 months, and then this Anthony Shots comes around in December, and it's a holy shit moment. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah,
We weren't
they didn't.
here. Now we're here.
They didn't want to spook maybe that the pedo ring that they speak
Yeah.
of.
Oh
Maybe.
yeah. No, they were. Listen, he's been in jail since August 2020. So to wait until December 2021, I don't think it was going to come out at all. I think the reason it did come out was the jail got the contact that Barbara was setting up an interview with him. So remember we talked about it, how it was dropped at 10 p.m. Like,
Oh, that reminds me.
Yeah.
This is a perfect question for you, CD, and I
Yeah.
kind of spreading this around, but is it possible that if law enforcement wanted to stop that document, that they could?
It's tough.
It's
It's tough.
possible.
It's possible. It is. It's
FBI?
possible. It's possible.
Okay.
It is. I mean, they supposedly, from what Murder Sheet said, was that they did tell LE that they were going to release it, and it was kind of like okay. There wasn't like any real deep, in-depth convo about what's in the document and how it could harm anything.
That's the part that hurts me. It's almost like the Delphi case is no longer the biggest part of this investigation. That hurts, man.
I think it's being perceived that way, but I don't think that. I don't. I feel that.
But it's part of a bigger picture.
Think of it this way: when they dropped that in December, it was what was coming out. Barbara's interviewing Keegan on December 9th. So they just a day earlier they dropped the news of Anthony Shots. Then within 24 hours, his arrest affidavit's online. So it was coming. You know what I mean? That's why we talked that night. I'm like, it's a little weird at 10 p.m. this got dropped. It was kind of like a rush, and they had to get it out so it's known. Because at the end of the day, if they didn't put anything out, and Barbara has this interview with him, and then somebody had to hold of his arrest affidavit, they look stupid. They do.
Kind of like the Murder Sheets having to drop that a little early.
100%. So to put that out, that Anthony shots, anybody had contact. So the way they put it out, it looked like, and they added the whole, anything for Anthony shots was attached to the Libby and Abby case. They hit the tip line. So yeah, they were trying to keep it separate, but I don't think they were ready to say fully, hey, this is together. This is the one and the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if they're saying it's one and the same, it's like, wait, well, this is together. Why didn't, you know? I don't even think the family got a heads up that was coming. It just got dropped because they didn't, because Kelsey put it up. At first, Kelsey responded that that's old news because she wasn't in the know. You know, somebody asked her about the Anthony shot. Somebody asked her about it on Twitter. And her response was, that's old news, but that changed within an hour. She then posted the info and said, please, if anybody had contact with him, to contact them.
Yeah.
You know, dude, this is so tough for these families. It just is. 5 years are gone by. Then you have this Anthony shots. They believe something the whole time, that this was some random guy.
The hardest part for the family's got to be, and probably hardest part for you, as law enforcement, is investigating them first and foremost, right?
Investigating the clients?
No, the family members.
Oh, absolutely.
God, that's got to suck.
You know, in a sense, they're looking at everybody, but these are families that lost a loved one. You gotta have kid gloves on. You know, when you're you know, you're gonna be in depth as possible, but you can't hurt them. They're hurting as it is. So you're gonna get everything you gotta get, but you're gonna do it in a different manner. You know, I mean, that could also be why, you know, how people, it drives me nuts when people get on Kelsey about she was spoken to 4 or 5 times. You know what? Maybe she couldn't handle it, you know, and they're gonna understand that if
And it's
they're
good
asking her,
that they talk to her. I'm
yeah,
good. She
but
did.
you know what?
That's part of the victimization, is that she kind of has to go through that. It's part of
Exactly.
it's part of the trauma, and it sucks, but it's
Yeah.
awesome that she got that out of the way, and now she should be left alone.
Yeah, but that could be why it took 4 or 5 times. Maybe things were too hard for her, and they're saying, you know what? Let's give her a little time. Let's give her a couple more days, and we'll get her back in, and we'll finish up.
That
You're
word
not gonna.
inconclusive.
Yeah, they're not gonna sit her down and attack her. Her sister was murdered. You know, yes, she was the last person with her. She dropped her off. You're gonna get all that, but it doesn't matter if it's today or if it's in the next 4 days.
It's the best
She's
lead
not
until
going
you have a
anywhere.
real lead, right?
Yeah, she's not going anywhere, and you want to get her to be fresh and be able to tell you everything she saw that day. When she pulled in, something could click back, like, oh, you know what? I forgot to tell you this. I saw a truck, blah blah blah.
I think that did happen. I think a
Well,
couple
there was
months
that
later, a
there was
truck or
that
something.
Suburban with the stickers.
Yeah, I don't know how
Yeah,
real that
so
is, but I heard something like that. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, at the end of the, I don't, you know, then you have the people saying, taken away from Libby, how brave this girl was doing that video. It's just, get off the family. You see where they're aiming now. If you're putting out content and spreading things all over the place, that, you know, you got to see where if they're aiming somewhere, why the hell are you aiming over here? You're not even in the same realm. It doesn't make sense, you know.
Yep, I agree 100%. And I think they may
And
have their guy.
I think the walls are closing. And did you see Lynn's
Sleep
comments?
well, motherfucker.
I know. Lynn's comment said that she heard Tony Klein's in the hospital. Can we get any kind of confirmation on that?
We got certain trolls calling Tony on his cell phone and then recording the call, and he picked up and said, "You still blah 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 blah," and Tony's like, "Dude, I'm in a hospital. I can't talk right now."
Well, so, you know, he's going to say, I'm going to get off the phone. I mean, listen, let law enforcement do their job. Don't, please, nobody out there, put yourself in a position of going to his home or anything like that. You are not law enforcement. You could get hurt. This is real life. They're looking at a man for a double murder. Don't go near him. Stay away.
He is dangerous.
They're watching his look how dangerous he is. He's a dangerous man. They're watching
That reminds me of a story,
move.
CD. There was a serial killer going around. His name evades me at the moment, but they did a whole public press event and everything where they got the town together, and the killer was in the room, right?
Yeah.
And there was a guy in there that's like, "Oh, well, you tell this killer if he wants some trouble, he can come around to my house. I'll take care of him." The killer came to his house that night and fucking destroyed his whole family.
Wow. That's what
Didn't
I'm.
even kill him. Beat them to an inch of their lives. So be
That's what I'm
careful what
saying.
you wish for.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not a joke. This is a real case. This is real life. The law enforcement is closing in. They are pushing Kagan, whatever you want to call him. He is buckling. The guy is not doing too well in county jail. Okay.
Mm-mm.
In his mind, he's thinking about the state prison he's going to go to. He's not going to do well there either. So
You think
it's
they're
time to
dealing?
chime, buddy. Yeah, it's
They're
time
dealing,
time
right?
to bird up. Yeah, he's got him.
Yeah,
He's got him. He's buckling.
he's just waiting for like something like 20, 10, 15 years. I think once they give him that, it's a done deal.
The whole thing is, is he looking for nothing on Delphi if he gives up Daddy? We don't know. It depends what his role in was with that. You know what I mean? Is he looking for nothing to come from it? Oh, Fig said, Fig, is that not crazy? I sent it to you, Sleuth, too. You saw it, right? That article?
Which one? Oh yeah.
About is that not? We might, if you want to put that up, you can put it up later when we're done with this. Very interesting.
Well, like I said, you have control right there, man.
Well, we want to go through the doc. We want to,
whatever you want to do, man. It's your show tonight.
We need to clarify because on Reddit today I got a ton of questions, and they're talking about the female who also was in contact with Anthony Schatz. The sleepover, Libby was there. Abby was not. Libby slept there. Libby and the friend were both talking to Anthony Schatz that night.
And also, after the fact, Kelsey mentions that she was having a tiff with a friend over a guy.
Remember? Yes, the Renner video. So that definitely ties together. That's the friend. Okay,
that's the guy.
That's the reason. Anthony Schatz is the reason that her and the friend got in the falling out. Absolutely.
See, we're not stupid. We've been covering all this information. We've been tying it together.
Well, now it's just you're knitting it all together. The puzzle is starting to fall.
It takes
and everything
time.
Is Listen, it took law enforcement 5 years, but I'll say this: I strongly feel if law enforcement got that 5C on the 25th before Kagan got to delete anything, we might not be here talking about this case. They would have had all the convos. They would have had everything. This could have been tied up with a bow back then. And I feel like, remember how he says now in this one, it wasn't on the counter when he walked in. This time he says it was on top of the microwave, the 5C. So who put it there, him or Daddy? Somebody, they had the right opportunity while law enforcement, they were talking, and somebody just grabbed it and hit it.
Or he's lying.
Why lie? They didn't get it.
I think he took part in this. I think he was part of the alibi. I have this theory, CD. Bear with
definitely.
me.
Yeah.
I think he took their phones, and I think, when they pinged him over there by Country Club Road?
Yes.
I think what he did is he took all the killers' phones, and he basically called each of them on three-way. They were all tied in, and he was holding on to them on an open line while they were committing the crime, is what I think happened.
To try and keep the GPS triangulated in a certain spot.
And they went over there and operated with two-way radios.
It could be. Let's think of it this way: if from what it's looking like, this was 100% planned, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
for months.
So the dumbest move would be for the killer to bring his phone to the bridge. Yes, you got to make your final contact, make sure they're there or whatever. That could be the difference in timing. The 1:30 drop off, and then he closes in at 2:30.
Binoculars, two-way radio.
Yeah, and then you have 47 minutes from them getting dropped off around 1:30ish to 43 minutes to the contact.
Because the report says that Keegan was on his was it the Galaxy? He was like 40 minutes away near Country Club Road. He was looking at porn because that's what he does. He was killing time.
Yeah, he's a dirtbag.
He was also providing an alibi for the other two.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I think we got to remember now. This interview was August 19th that we got to see, right? That's August 19th, 2020. That's a long time ago. That's the day they locked him up. The trooper Vito and the deputy sheriff went in and got him and interrogated him. And remember we were talking about the whole the second polygraph. It never happened. He's
Never.
asking multiple times. Well, he was asking multiple times, are we going to get to this polygraph? But he doesn't, that's not how it works. They're building to get to the polygraph. I don't know why at the end of the conversation, it seemed like the deputy sheriff left first, the room, and then the trooper left. It's kind of like they got pissed off and left the room, because at the end of that whole document, it seemed there was more to go. But for some reason, they just stopped talking to him, and
And
they
they
were
do
very
talk
irritated.
about, they said, we've seen all the videos, we've seen all the photos, we've both went through them. You need to stop lying to us. So
Yeah.
there's part of them. This is what most likely makes this interview extremely hard, because there's part of them that just wants to rip his fucking head off.
Oh,
You know what I mean? As a
absolutely.
man. So
Especially when he lies and they know he's lying. It's like that's where you really want to
well, the young
really
kid
lose
stuff,
it.
he tries to back off from all that. The
Yeah.
real young stuff. Nah,
He
man,
he
we know
tried
you were into
he
that. Yeah,
he
we
played it
know.
off. He played it
Mhm.
off as it was the most disgusting thing on earth. He has nothing to do with it. But at
It
the end
was
of the
his
day, it's
favorite.
on his device. It's on his
It's his
device.
favorite. It's his favorite. He
And
knows it's disgusting.
could that be that he knows what will come from that one day in when he gets to state jail, at prison, what could come
And
from
they're
somebody getting
reminding
their hands
him.
on him?
They're reminding him of that through the entire
Yeah.
interview. You know you're facing 40 years just for these first 3 charges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good
And he's
luck,
got
buddy.
30. He's got 30. He's got 30.
You won't make it 10 years.
That's why when we talked about his arrest, when I said to you, listen, there's double charges on here. I mean, they really racked them up. So to get 30 charges against you, it's something. And you better give it or you're gonna get destroyed. And we're seeing it. He is getting destroyed. His life is, look at him. He looks like a gremlin. I mean, he really resembles a gremlin.
Did you see
Everything
this
is not
comment?
doing well.
This is from Brett Eversole. He says, well, you have Keegan Kline, who stalks his prey online, and then you have someone like a Larry Nassar, who physically and sexually abused children. Nassar will probably live longer than Kline. And I wonder why.
Yeah, Nassar, what I'll say about him is
Federal?
he is, he's a doctor who just, his oath went out the window. He did things to these kids with their parents in the room. I want to know how the parents didn't know what was going on, though. How did they not know what's going on when he's doing that certain maneuver?
I get in trouble because I'm suspicious. People have to tell me to stop.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I'm
suspicious
saying.
all the time.
You're putting a towel in that, and I just don't know how nobody knew. How did nobody know? He did it to hundreds, and nobody knew. It's crazy. And the ones that talked got shut up. They got shunned. They got told to shut up and not talk about it. It's terrible.
That climate is kind of like a power-hungry climate. It's like a status climate too. So I'm wondering if part of that plays a part in things.
The husband and wife that ran that place, they just fall in line with the Olympics. It's like if you get on their bad side, your kid's out. So
Oh, here we go. Aspen says, do y'all think that the connection to tie this entire case together is with friend number 2? Well, I call him friend number 1. I don't know why everybody's calling him friend number 2. It's friend number 1, right?
They're calling him friend 1 because the first one from Vegas. Friend 2, I think he's referring to the country club. The one that Keegan never mentioned is the separate guy.
Okay.
With the heavy, he's the biggest weed dealer. I mean, when you think about it, is the biggest weed dealer the guy you're not going to talk about, or is there more to it? You know what I mean? He doesn't want to bring. It's supposedly his best friend. Never mentioned him, but he's scared because he's a weed dealer. I mean, what are we talking about?
Maybe because he wasn't connected and he really thought he could get away with not mentioning him. Like they would never know. He's not connected to what's going on here. I don't have to mention him. There's no way,
But when we think about the number one drug of Indiana right now, it's meth.
He said PCP, acid, and mushrooms. You think he really just meant meth?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I told you what my theory is on that. I mean, he went into in depth about this weed service he had, and you don't pay for the weed. That's why you don't get bothered. It's a subscription service. Exactly.
Yep. We talked about that.
He was one. Yeah, we were talking. He's 100% was describing a business that you just remove 100%. Weed and you put CSAM in, and it fits.
Let me tell you why I believe that that's 100% what you're saying, because he almost checks with the investigators if they caught it. He goes,
Yeah.
"Well, I know you had my phone, right? When I was in Vegas. So you saw that I met that guy, right?" And they're
Well,
like,
did you?
"We're not concerned about the guy." And he's like, "Yeah, well, you know I met the guy, right?" And they're like, "Well, what are you talking about?" He says, "Well, the guy with for the weed." They're
Yeah.
like, "We're not concerned with that." But what he's trying to figure out is if they
If
know.
they're catching on to him, yeah. If they're catching
Yeah.
on to what he was
Mhm.
telling, and what I also found interesting, nobody's talking about is what were these weekly trips he was making to L.A. What were those? He wasn't
There are
sleeping there.
it could
He
be
wasn't sleeping there.
if weed was real, if weed
Hmm.
was the real thing that he's referring to, and it's not code word, there's a lot of legal grow rooms out there. Like that's where a lot
Oh
of
yeah, I'm
people, if
sure.
you're in
I'm sure.
Vegas, because in Vegas, marijuana is not legal. Like I think
Yeah.
medical, possibly, I'm not 100%, but if you're looking to go grab mass quantities and get across an entire state line without
Yeah.
worrying about somebody busting you with weed, because they really don't care about it, in California, that's the place to go.
Yeah. It could be. It could be.
So,
When I was on a case in Vegas, and it was 27 wiretaps, amazing case. It was insane. So I had to go to Vegas for like 5 days. Um, Metro PD and the DEA guys we were working with out there told me how huge meth was. This was back in 2006, and they said you're in the East Coast. 10 more years, meth will be there like it is
hmm,
here. They were
was
right
it?
on. They really were. They were
Wow.
right on. It just takes time to shift. Yeah, meth
Mhm.
was here and there, but it's big everywhere now. You know, but
Well,
that's pretty much where it started because of all the jobs. You got to stay awake, blah blah blah. So people are trying to figure out how they can stay awake for 24 hours to make more money. So it's a perfect fit for the industries there.
I don't think weed is legal in Las Vegas. I was just there and I was
Weed is like,
threatened
I don't know
by
much
law
about it
enforcement.
there.
Yeah, I was smoking there and I was told that I was not allowed to smoke it there.
Well, you
So I'm
might be
not
able to
sure.
possess it and not smoke in
Medical.
public.
Medical? Oh, I see what you're
You know what I'm
saying.
saying? Yeah, like you could possess a certain amount legal, but if you're smoking in public, same thing in New York. You're smoking in public, it's an offense.
Hmm.
You know? Yeah,
Well,
it's just
I mean, I
it's like
was in public. Yeah, I was not in a private domicile. You're right.
how
That
stupid
could have been it.
if that makes, oh yeah, you could have an ounce of whatever it was a few years ago. You could have an ounce of weed on you, but you can't light it in a public place. Like I understand driving and one thing, but you're just whatever. It's just, dude, they
Yeah, it's
held
an
back.
everyday
They
it's an
held
everyday thing to me. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
that's just
for
my
some
that's my
reason they
medication.
held. No, there's nothing wrong with that. They held back weed, and now they saw the taxes. They saw, listen, cigarettes taxes. We can
Oh
make a lot of
yeah.
money. So
Good.
now all of a sudden, weed, no problem. Get it. It's just like
I
it's
would
just
rather my
hypocritical.
city have the
Yeah,
tax
oh yeah.
benefits for it. I'm gonna pay for
Listen,
it either way. Why not?
if you think of alcohol and you think of weed, and
Oh, here
just
we
take
go.
the accidents, just the vehicle accidents alone. How many people drunk kill somebody, and how many people on weed kill somebody? Alcohol will outright win every single time.
How
I had
long
a I
has
had
it
a I
been
had a guy
legal?
one time blow a 2.8, dude. A 2.8.
What?
Yeah, he had
That's
bottles of Jack
poisoned.
Daniel.
He's
He
poisoned.
was in his 70s. He had a falling out with his
Mm,
wife. He was driving around for hours just chugging fifths of JD. Thank God we got him and he didn't kill anybody. But dude, he
that's
blew a
hardcore.
2.8. He didn't even know where he was. So if you compare alcohol to weed, weed should have been legal 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Well, this thing that I got right here is not for everybody. This is something for somebody that's, been dabbling for a while. But check this out.
Oh, I'm sure there's different levels.
Recreational marijuana is legal in Nevada. No reason to haul it from California.
That's what I'm saying. It's just it to me.
Bam.
He's going to LA for other reasons. It just doesn't. It just didn't. Even
Porn
even if you're
industry,
living in, if you think about if you're
snuff.
living in Vegas, right? If you're living in Vegas, dude, you could get any drug possible in Vegas. Why the hell make the ride 3.5 hours to California, LA, and then drive back with it? You could find your connection there. You could find anything there. So I think weed would be easier to get than some other things in Vegas. I don't know, just the LA
They could
thing
be
kind of.
trafficking some other things as
Yeah,
well.
LA really perked me. And then somebody was messaging me saying, "Well, Keegan was broke. He didn't have a car. Keegan can't drive. He's never had a driver's license. He has
Hmm.
seizures.
Yep.
So don't think that he was broke. He was living. He's not going to. He all those hundreds. That was real
He
money.
could have been being bullied also.
I'm sure he was bullied a lot in his life, you know.
No, I'm talking about the
And
people who were involved in this crime who he went to Las Vegas with, and
yeah,
that might be why he came back. They could have threatened him, like, dude, we'll just take you out, man. Like, you ain't getting none of this money. You just keep your mouth shut, do what we say. He's like, hell no, I'm getting out of here. Like, if you go back and you squeal, like, I will kill you.
if you look at him and just look at him over the years and the person he was, he's not
He ran back.
he's not some tough guy.
No, he
His
ran
dad
back to
is.
daddy.
His
And
dad is the
I think daddy went with him to Vegas because he loaded up his truck for them
possible.
to move them down there. They weren't on
Daddy's the.
vacation.
We know who the violent one is, though.
Hmm.
Holding a firearm to his son's head. Come on.
And I don't
I
trust
believe
Keegan
it.
though. He could be
Yeah.
just as violent. I don't believe it, but he could. These liars and these people that are
We do
professional
know.
liars can get away with this kind
Oh
of
yeah.
stuff.
Well, we do know how pissed he got when the girl he was supposed to meet at the park brought a friend. So yeah, I mean, listen, apple never falls far from the tree. So could he
Hmm.
be like daddy and just not showing it? It's highly possible. He just tries to come off like a sloth. That's what he really tries to come off as.
But the second he's comfortable, he's using words like blow job and like all this weird stuff. Like it just comes natural to him, and then he kind of catches himself. Like, oh wait,
Well,
I gotta play that victim.
it's natural because think about how many people was he contacting in a day? He was predator number one, man. We can't forget that he was the predator.
Wait,
You
what was
know,
the legalization date? That's a good point. Let me see here. Because that makes sense. If they had no reason to go to LA for purposes of marijuana, then that means they had another a different kind of motivation, possibly.
that's true. It's true.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
Trying to see something here about what else. What else in the document did that blew me away? What blew
So
you away?
what blew me away was the ski mask. Was the communication between Libby's friend
Yes,
and the guy with
exactly.
the ski mask. To me, it seemed like an intimidation tactic, covering loose
Or
ends, like
was it,
saying, "Hey,
or was it possibly to try and get in the house and get the phone?
I
Because
don't
she
think
had
so."
all the chat history. You know, we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, it's
She had a
possible,
chat
but
history that
I think
they murdered Libby. This girl contacted him. His response was, "Oh my God,
I
what?"
don't know
Like,
what I don't know about what they were intending to do, or if what they did was like some kind of perfect plan. What I think, when my initial impression was that it was intimidation. It was like, okay, you know what we did to your friends. You see me looking at you through here. You
yeah,
know not to say anything. You see
yeah.
me,
And
and they
well, let's
wouldn't
also
dare
put
to come
together.
in. Well, hold. This is the end of this theory here,
Oh yeah,
because I don't think it was a planned attack, because they know that they don't have this open field like they did
oh
the
yeah,
bridge. It's a house.
yeah,
She could
yeah.
easily call 911, and that's it. So that's why I thought it might have
People
been
have
just
ring cameras at their doorbell. Their
Mhm.
doorbell cameras.
Intimidation
Somebody.
is
Yeah,
simply what it was, in
yeah,
my opinion.
yeah, yeah. And just remember that the the device searched for that address on the 19th, and it happened on the 20th, another Monday where Tony's off of work. Another weird coincidence, I would bet, right? You know,
Mhm.
but but Keegan knew the address already because he was friends of the family. So was that TK trying to find the address and Kagan wasn't giving it? So he pushed for her to give it and she gave it up because the person was there right after she got home from school in her window.
No, that's not what the documents say. Let me go to this question real quick, and then we'll go to that
Good.
afterwards. Aspen says, "Can you clarify the ski mask event, the sleepover?" So the sleepover was about a week prior
A
to the
week.
crime,
Yeah, the
and the
weekend
ski
before the
mask
crime.
event was 2 days after the crime.
No, it was 220.
Oh,
19th
way
was when they
after, a week
searched. It was
after.
a week,
Okay,
1 week, yeah, one complete week after on another Monday. On
okay.
2/20/17 on another month. That's what just the murders were on the Monday. This happened on a Monday, and law enforcement told them that that's the reason that the search warrant was done on his house. That's how they found him, was from the masked incident report that was taken, because
And now
it all tied together.
the document actually states that the young girl, and I feel bad. This is the part of the document that I wish wasn't released, but it was
Mhm.
released. I'm just commenting on it, okay? Don't hold me over the fire. But she initiated the request, apparently.
Oh,
She
for the
sent the
person to meet her.
yeah, my parents are
Yeah,
are not
my
home.
parents are out. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
come
That
here.
is true.
So this means that there was some grooming going on. You know, you don't just trust some guy. Hey, now's your chance. You know what I mean? No, there's grooming that brings a guard down to that level,
Yeah, it's true.
in my opinion.
Well, wasn't there mention in there of Libby calling him daddy? The term daddy being used,
Mm-hmm.
which is a total groom job was happening, which is beyond, dude. It's just that's what I'm saying. This is something that when the families see that it hurts.
Man,
It
God.
hurts deeply, and I
It's hurting me right
feel
now,
for
dude.
them. It does when you think of just about how insane it is. You know, it's
Because she
insane.
was a victim, like you know what I mean? Like she's not supposed to be prepared for this type of psychological warfare yet. And
No,
the way that he attacked them was in the mind first.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's the hard
Well,
part right there
it
for
was
me.
the confidence building. You know, it's the want. Oh, this person wants me. That's how they reel you in. You know, it's like they're pulling and pulling and pulling until the break finally happens.
Yep. There we go. Here's another one. Hey Sleuth, how about his search
Yeah.
history on DNA and how OJ got off? What
Yep.
the?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. This guy. Oh, that's when they. That's another thing. He's in Vegas. He's supposed to be having a good time with his father, and he's researching the Delphi
Mhm.
case. He's
Yep.
looking up things. Then he's looking up how long does DNA last on a body. I mean, come on. Like really? I mean, it just shows you, you know. And then in the middle of that, they're looking up prostitutes. I mean, it's just you can't make it up what was going on in that hotel room. You
Yeah,
cannot make it up.
these guys, the amount of disgusting that we're seeing right now is only probably about 5% of what is really the totality of how disgusting these guys really are.
This is one interrogation. This is only one interrogation. You know,
Yeah, and these are the
the
lies that he
depth.
wants them to know.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. And it's only what they got off the device after he deleted half of it. You know, his
Yeah.
other devices were old. One of them he didn't use from like 2014. You know, this
He's
guy,
like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I talked to 13 and 14. That's yeah, all the time, hundreds of them. Oh,
well, no, he tried
but
to
not
say
the other
like
ones.
15 or 16 is my limit. But then they're like, well, if I find out she's 13, I'll still talk to her. Like what? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like he talks out of both sides of his mouth.
Yeah.
It's like selective memory,
He knew
and
exactly
he
how
tells them
much
what
his
he
dad
thinks it's going
pays
to fit.
for a prostitute.
Yeah, yeah, he
150, he
did.
said.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
yeah,
That the bunny ranch was too
what a
expensive.
great
You know.
interview. Man, they got him on
Oh
multiple times. They got
boy,
his
that's what I'm
ass.
saying. Like if we go to
So
the
you
end
do
of
want to
it,
talk to us? So you do? You
yeah.
don't want a lawyer?
Well, that's the whole stew
Mm,
job. You know, he
that
asked for
was my
attorney,
favorite part
so
right there.
they kind of put the cool on. They gave him the ice a little
Mhm.
bit. They iced him down, and then
Yep.
they, you know, listen, this is really heavy. You're going to get hit with
It
orders.
was
This is the
almost
only time to
over.
talk.
It was
And
very
then he's like,
close.
if he said it again, it would be over.
It would have been
And
over.
and listen, he ate the cake. They gave him the
He
cake, and
ate
he
it.
ate it, and he kept going.
Favorite part,
You
my
know,
favorite part.
well
He actually got
that's
mad, but they knew that it was important that they told him, "We do not think that it's you." They're like, "Okay, this is our
exactly
time for us to say that part."
100%.
Yep.
That is the key. They told him we do not believe you are the murderer.
Now
So
tell
in
us.
his mind, that's like he's thinking. He's like, "Oh, that's this is great." You know,
Yeah,
it's a
awesome.
whole. Remember, we were talking about last time, and just how interrogation tactics. If you push too hard, it's over. You get nothing. So the whole thing is this is a double murder case of two girls. So the emotions are going to get high, and
Mhm.
you gotta internally reel yourself in because if you give it to him too much, he's going to break and he's going to shut down. And that's the last thing you want to do is let him shut down. You know, it's the last. And the whole thing is, remember, this is 8/19 of 2020, the day he was locked up. They went right in at him. We do not know how many times it happened after this, you know, because at this time he's pushing the heat off daddy. You know, not my dad, not my
Mhm.
dad's probably this friend. He might have had access. It might have been him, You know, well, did you ever see him with their phone? Well, not for long periods of time. So it's like everything he said, there was second, you know, it was always a second guess behind it. Yes, he did. He did Google about the Sandy Hook dead bodies. Yes, he's sick. It's sick.
He's a
The guy's
sick
a
man.
sick. He's a sick individual. He's a predator and he's a gremlin. That's my name for him. He's a gremlin.
And he's
I'd
not
like to
as
call him other
innocent as
things.
he's acting
No,
either.
no, definitely not. But it's just this. When you're able to, you know, people read these documents, you're able to see what an animal is and a predator, because in his head, when they're telling him how bad it is, and then he's kind of in his head, he doesn't think it's that bad. He really doesn't
It's
think
like a
the
movie.
CSAM. It's crazy. It's like, you know,
Well,
he's trying
he doesn't
even
think
with
it's
even
bad
Barbara.
because his father. I mean, if he grows up
Yeah.
with a father like that, it's not going to seem that bad, especially when
Well,
your
even to
father's
Barbara,
sleeping
how he's
with your
saying,
friends.
my dad is abandoning me, and this is all I did. This is all you did. Or you were preying on the children
He's like,
of
I
America.
know what you normal people are going to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I
yeah, we
mean,
are, you sicko.
but we're, you know, the whole thing is that anybody who were second guessing him and his dad, you read it and it's a 180-degree turn, and
Hmm.
anybody reading it should know instantly this is why they're focusing here. This is
Yeah.
what was going on.
And the case is pretty much over. I mean, it wouldn't
Yeah.
take me long to use that information to know exactly who did it with the resources
Well,
that they have. But who is Mr. Big? Who is Mr. Big? Who are they waiting on? Is it a public figure? Is it a famous guy? Is it maybe a local church
like I called Tony
leader?
Klein. I call him the ace of spades of the case. But there's a joker card. And
Yeah.
who is it?
Who is
Who's the
this guy?
joker?
What
Who
about
is
his
he?
race car buddy?
Which one? He's got too many.
Well, I don't want to say his name. He's super
Oh, I know.
famous.
Okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I got you.
I mean, could
He's
it
in
be?
that circuit.
And I doubt it's something like that. But that guy's really famous. So what
Yeah.
if it was somebody like that, or a politician, or something like?
Well, if you think about anybody that's really close to Tony, you would think that when he's close to somebody for years, people would know. You know, they know a predator can't hide what they really are forever. You know, there's only so long you could hide what you are. Think about it. He followed that girl and stalked her with somebody else in his vehicle. We don't know who it was, but he was able to trust that person enough to do the stalking while somebody was in the car with him.
Well, let's say you want a snuff film and you got money. You know, you're not normally associated with these type of people like the Kleins and people that he associates with. So, I mean, who do you go to? You're like, okay, I want a snuff film. I'm gonna,
Yeah,
you're gonna go to the known child uh, smut peddlers, right?
yeah, yeah.
As
True.
as a person with money, I mean, who else are you gonna go to?
Is that maybe an LA connection? Is that a Vegas connection? Is that somebody local? We don't know. That's something we don't know. But
Maybe
I
somebody that's
believe
moving back and forth to places. Maybe
could
that's what
be
we should look for. So
jump around.
let's say they move out to Indiana, they stay there for a year or two, but they're
Hmm.
stalking. They make the deal over here in Vegas and
Yeah,
they make a deal in Las Vegas and they say,
and usually they move
maybe there's
states. They don't
multiple.
they don't
Maybe
they
there's
don't move
multiple.
within the state. They move to different states. You know,
Yeah.
because they want to always keep moving and never get the heat from a state
Hence the FBI maybe.
and the U.S. Marshals. That one's still intriguing me like
Because the
crazy.
online stuff wouldn't spark the FBI right away, would it? I think it's the over state lines part is where they would need the FBI.
Yeah. But the only reason we know that the FBI was in it from the beginning was because that agent was in the town doing something. And he was just there. And once he got there and once the bodies were found, that's when the swarm came, you
What
know?
if they had this solved like the first couple days? What if they were like, we know this, but while they had it solved, that's when they saw like, oh man, this is much bigger than we've ever expected it to be. Talked with the family, said, hey,
Yeah.
look, keep everybody on ice. We got to bring this this ring down here.
When we think about what changed for them to have that incident on February 20th, that's what they tell Keegan. This is the reason we came for you on the 25th when you got home from Vegas. What the hell changed that they suddenly got off him? that you established the contact. It's like a triangle. You establish the contact. Here's Anthony, right? Top. Here's Keegan, and then you have the one girl, and then you have Libby. The contact is there, connects them, to Anthony Shots. Then you have the asking of the address. She gives the address. The masked man at the window 7 days later. Search warrant on the 25th.
What do you think about a wire?
Wiretap?
No,
Oh, it's
like him actually wearing a wire.
Keegan?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible, except what bothered me was the way ISP addressed why Keegan wasn't arrested before August 20th.
It was almost like surveillance, huh? From afar.
Well, no, the way they said it was that basically the way I interpret it and the way I'm looking at it is, for some reason, Carroll County was not there when they did the search warrant on 25th. It was only the FBI and it was ISP. So where was the mix-up that either FBI, if it was a federal warrant signed, because it was FBI and the Indiana State Police Cyber Crimes Unit, that's who was in the head of that. So they didn't contact Carroll County. Maybe they felt it was separate, but it wouldn't be because it was tied together. So why the hell wasn't the devices that whatever came up wasn't forwarded to Miami County Prosecutor's Office to prosecute them? And that's when they put out the release and they basically apologized, saying that we have to do better. And it wasn't something that was done intentionally.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't know what to believe.
Doug Carter commented on it as well. I liked his response, but I already knew.
Yeah.
As soon as they confirmed that it was something online, we knew that there was a pedo ring. Unroyal knew, Graz knew, I knew.
And we're seeing prior investigation.
Yeah.
Prior investigation.
From the beginning, we said it, and we also said that there was a pedo ring. We all said it. And it just kind of sucks that it's true.
Well, that also intrigues the whole, the Fouts guy, the judge, with that whole prostitute girl and that kind of club or something that was supposedly going on. That's something intriguing also. Is that going to come into a different avenue? I don't know.
Did you ever check out his I guess friend number one? It would be. Also had doing photography in Vegas.
Yeah. Well, Keegan tries to say that the two toddler age for possibly that friend number one's children.
They are.
Because he had two young kids. But yeah, I mean that's what it seems to be. And
he took them with him. They went with him. So it kind of reminds me when Doug Carter was like, "What will your family think? Like, what are they going to think about you?" Because I mean, to me, when I think your wife probably would know there's something wrong with you, if you're that kind of a person. She knows. But what about your kids? They worship you. Like, there's nothing that I care about more than the opinion of my children.
I agree.
It means everything to me. I fight for it every day, and there's nothing more important to me than that opinion.
That's facts.
So I wonder if Doug Carter was talking to this person. What will your family think? What were those closest to you think?
What were them closest to you think? Of course, the racing ring that he was involved in. We never thought we'd shift gears. That drew me in.
That's why I thought about. That's why I mentioned what's his name.
This was here the whole time. You know what I'm saying? It's like shit. This was here the whole time. And then you got Captain Burston saying, that was it a chance encounter? Highly unlikely.
And then when he goes like that, he's like.
Yes.
You don't see this over here. You don't see this over here. Yeah.
It's like when you look back at the pressers, they're leaving clues all around us. Oh, getting to Fig's thing. Fig, let's think about this, right? What if one or two of those so-called at the crime scene, what if one or two of those were done for a picture? What if a signature somebody requested? And that's why they're so fucking odd, and that's why they're so odd. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Big.
If you think about it, maybe that's why it's when Ives describes it, there's just a couple of very odd things there. What are they? Maybe those were put there to show that it really happened. We don't know. Hopefully we're going to find that out, of these weird, what the hell was going on.
Well, do you think that the setup of the crime, does it scream to you military tactics? Because I know you guys in the police academy and stuff like that, you guys get some of those tactics. You think this was set up like something like some type of strategic military strategy, is some part of some type of training where he was able to kind of piece it all together and get in and get out. He knew like the schematics and everything. Do you see anything like that? I see that.
Well, I believe he was surgical with his entrance and exit.
The
You know,
planning of it too, right?
we don't really, yeah, absolutely. We don't really know if anybody really saw him or not. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We do not know for a fact if you know, yes, you know, there is things that look like, as we said, the young sketch does resemble Tony Klein.
Hmm.
But why the hell is that sketch of a 19 or 20-year-old kid if the main focus at that press conference, they were aiming at him then,
And it was so weird
you
because they're
know?
so confusing. Like from the
Yeah.
beginning, we all thought that the sketch was done on the 17th, and just like in Bloke's live earlier, he even played the video of the guy who talks about creating the sketch from a witness. But I mean, what is that witness? Could that be technology?
Hmm.
Um, is he talking about a different sketch? Like it's all so confusing.
There is some confusing things from what I've seen. The way the second sketch was described was that it was drawn very early, and you know that
17th,
it was
apparently.
yeah, that it was a hand drawn sketch. Like, remember how you maybe it could have been DNA. They're trying to say this was a sketch done by, you know, a sketch artist, and this is from witnesses. But was it also somebody, you know, was it also a little bit from the image that they have? I hope not, because
Well, this is my
each,
problem.
each each
I based it off of what Kelsey said, but we know Kelsey is doing her best to protect the information, and we saw that with kind of like with Bloke reaching out to her, and she's like, no, 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 that's false. But then 2 days later,
yeah,
but we all knew that it was true at the time.
yeah, we did.
You know,
We
so
did.
with her saying that it was false, maybe we shouldn't be basing facts off what family members say, right? Maybe that should
Well,
not be a
that's that, but that see
practice.
that when you think about the same thing with December with Anthony Shots, she was asked about it, and she said that's old
Mhm.
news. Within
Yeah.
60 minutes, it changed to her spreading it out there, saying anybody that knows it, please, you know, go. That's the whole thing. It's that,
So just
you know,
stop bothering them about it. Don't
yeah. I
worry
mean,
about what they say. If you
you
want to
know,
know something,
it's
go do your own investigation.
man, it's tough.
It is tough because we're looking
One
for
day,
information and they're a
yeah,
source. They are a
one,
source of
one
information.
day they're gonna get the justice that they've been waiting 5 years for, and the tears that are going to come out of them of joy that the scumbag who did this to their
Yeah,
kids, it's over in that sense, but it's never going to be over. You know, that missing girl is never going to be there again.
that's
You
going
know,
to be
it's just,
nice though when
oh,
that
it is,
happens.
it is, it is.
I'm
I
going
mean,
to
that's the whole thing.
celebrate.
Like,
And I know it's a little
oh
weird. Like my obsession
no,
with this case is really strange, but I mean, when
it's
it's
not
all
weird because
solved,
you know what,
I'm going to really
you
celebrate.
dude, you're a human being. You have
Can't help
feelings.
it. I can't help it.
You see them. You see Mike Patty, you know, putting his glasses on at that presser.
Being
People
strong,
say, you know, he's oh he's
balling
got
that shit
yeah,
up.
yeah, but he's got no emotion. This and that.
Mhm.
He's got to be the patriarch of his family.
Yeah,
There's a
he's
time
a
or
real
place
man.
for him to show his tears. He's not.
Yeah.
He's holding it back. He doesn't want to be crying in front of a camera. He wants to show
No,
I'm
I don't
my
think he's
man.
concerned with the camera. He does not
No,
wanna be crying in front of Becky. He does not
Well,
want
that's what
her
I'm
to break
saying.
down.
He has a
He
time. That time is
Yes.
alone. It's
Mhm.
alone. It's when he's alone and he could break, but he couldn't break then. He's got to be the one to hold it up. He's holding the cards up. He's holding his
Yeah.
family up on his shoulders.
What an example, huh?
I never understood how they've gotten attacked so much. I really never did. It's like they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. It's
Well, it's
crazy,
just
man.
people trying to play police, like, even I'm guilty of it. We all wanna do our
Yeah,
own little investigation, so
yeah,
where do
but
you start,
there's
you know?
nothing wrong with that. It's that when people are actually like people write under Kelsey's things on Twitter and like destroy the girl.
Like, right
Are you
now, they're still doing
yeah,
it.
like
They're
are
still
you
doing it.
fucking kidding me? This girl is
Yeah.
she's trying to hold it all together. You know, she was a kid at the what was she 17? She was I think a junior in high school when this happened. Imagine being a junior in high school and this happening in your family. Dude, it's like your world shattered that day. Shattered.
She has her own guilt too that she's dealing with, I'm sure,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
nobody else has to deal with. The same reason why she was so
Think about
important
it.
to the
She's probably thinks,
investigation
what if
early
I
on.
yeah.
That's the same reason why she was so important to the investigation, their only lead, first contact. Think
Hmm.
about that. It was also
But think
that
about her
devastating for
thinking,
her.
if I didn't have work and I was able to be there, I'm older than them. Would this have even happened? There's guilt there.
Mhm.
Like she's she's thinking about everything possible, from getting in the car, driving them there. It all plays back in her head. We'll never know that feeling. We'll never know.
Not picking up certain calls, that kind of stuff would
Yeah,
kill me.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
maybe I looked at the phone and I didn't answer it,
Like people
I do
knock
that
that.
all the time.
Like think about it. Her grandmother was like her mom, and there's times where your mom calls and you don't really want to answer. But if she calls again, okay, something might be wrong. I got a second call. Then you pick up. Like, oh, she didn't want to, oh, blah, blah, blah. She was in on it. Come on. Stop the fucking madness. Stop the madness. Give her a break. Give her a break. But that's just, it's just where
Yeah,
we're at. It's
traumatized.
it's fucking bananas. It really is when you think about it. It's like
Have you
leave the
looked into
family alone.
the Evansdale case at all?
I did. I have.
I'm gonna
I
as soon
have.
as this is all closed up and sewn up,
Yeah.
I'm going right over there. I can't
You know
wait.
how, I mean, listen, there was a lot of similarities. The whole date thing, how it's flipped. My issue with Evansdale to Delphi is how they were travel. There was a 30-mile travel in between. You know,
Mhm.
that's a long way when we think about it. They
That's
were
like a
taken right
real
off their
kidnapping.
bikes,
That's a real kidnapping.
full on abduction,
Mhm.
removal,
Abduction.
and
There you go.
and brought 30 miles away to this weird eerie place. I mean, you saw that where they were left. They were left in
Seven
the,
bridges.
like, think about this case. They were 52 feet off the sandbar. That's seven bridges place. They were in the middle of nowhere. They were just in the middle of the
Yep.
land. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there are similarities, but there's a lot of distance in between. A 30
Yeah.
mile a 30-mile ride with these two.
I don't I
This
don't
is
see a
another horrible
connection.
case.
I don't see a
No,
connection right now anyway,
yeah, yeah.
but who knows? It could be. Mike,
When you think, I saw the dad a couple times. He was on a couple different channels, and dude, I feel bad for him, man.
he looks
He,
beat
dude, he
down.
So if he still doesn't know, it's been what? It's been almost 10 full years, and they never told him how his daughter died. I
They
mean,
shouldn't.
it's more because the crime hasn't been solved yet. So at the end of the day, even Doug Carter addressed that about Mike Patty asking him the question of that,
And what
and
I'm
he
learning
kind
is
of,
it's not for me to say why. It's not for me to
yeah,
say
oh
why.
yeah. Well, it's
So
more, it's they're not being told because they don't want a false confession. They don't want it out there so that it starts getting spread around. Then you have these fucking wackos calling up that they did it, you know. And when those girls were found, dude, it was, they fully decomposed. So that whole, crime scene analysis and forensics, that's a hard one. That really is. That's a hard one, and you're not gonna have much DNA left behind at that point, bud. You're
yeah.
talking about fully decomposed. So they have
The
to not tell them.
elements, yeah, the elements and
Yeah,
being out in the
yeah.
open like
I
that, that's
I,
tough.
I think it was almost 6 months, right? It was quite a few months before they were found. So you're talking about,
I think it's 6 weeks. I think it was.
what,
I
does
could be
anybody
wrong.
know? Yeah, there were months in between, but I mean,
Maybe 3.
whatever it is, it's fucking tragic. It's another tragic one.
Yeah. And they were a lot younger too.
Yeah. What were they, 8 and 10?
I think one might have been 11, 8 and 11. Yeah, they were extremely young.
Yeah, they were young.
They weren't even
You
teenagers
know,
yet. Just
dude.
kids
I
playing.
mean, the grandma was watching them. They went for the bike ride, and thank God that, I mean, not that losing them two isn't enough, but there was a third child at the house. I think she was 4 or 5, and she wanted to go on the ride with them, and the sister said, "No, your grandma's not coming, so you can't come." I mean, God forbid. I mean, oof. The only thing that was left when they went to be found was just their bikes, dude. Just their bikes were sitting there.
Man, I hate to say it, but I don't know if I could ever recover from that, dude. I mean, does that make me weak?
No, it
You think?
doesn't, dude. No, I mean,
I mean, I can guarantee it. There's no coming back. I'm not gonna. My career is gone. Most likely, my
if
marriage is gone. I'll most likely go to the dark side. Like, I just
you're,
can't
you're
see dealing with that, man.
your life at that point turns into getting through each day. There's no,
So sad.
what do you look forward to? What do you look forward to? There's no looking forward. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward. Your kid's not here anymore.
Every decision I've made in the last about 15, 16 years has been because of my children.
Yeah, yeah, same,
Everything I am is based off of that factor.
dude. if you don't live for your children, what the fuck are you living for? This is how I put it. Like when I have friends that don't have kids and they're married, they don't have kids yet. I'm like, I term it at this: when you have children, you become selfless, not self. There's no more selfish. It's
Hmm.
selfless. It's not about you anymore. There's nothing about you. I mean, it's about your kids and making them happy and doing everything with them. You know, that's just the way it should be. I don't get people who have kids and think that it's still party time. Listen, there's always, go out once in a while, one thing, but be there for your kids, man. Don't abandon your children. I don't get that. Never did. I
Well,
used to
for
see it at
me,
work and it would drive me nuts.
I had my grandfather, I had my father, I had all these strong male role models, uncles,
Yep,
and all these older cousins, and
yep,
they were all like real men types. So for me, when I had a child, it was instinctual for me. So
yep,
I kind of feel for these people that grow up and they don't have their father or,
100%.
these men to instill these instincts. Because to me, I felt like I was a god when I was holding my
Yeah.
child for the first time. I've
Let,
never
let's
felt
th-
anything like
let's
that.
think about the one difference of a fatherly role today compared to 50 years ago. 50 years ago, not many fathers knew even how to change a diaper. That's totally different. I mean, it's just a different scenario today. You know, my dad as a grandfather, I think the first child that he changed, grandchild was his first diaper change, possibly. And he worked a lot, which is fine. My dad was an awesome guy, role model, but his job was to provide for the family, and whatever that took, you
Mhm.
do. It's just the way it is. Stephanie, I am so sorry.
Yeah, I'm
I
sorry to
am
hear that.
so sorry. That's terrible. Sorry for that. Today, in this day and age, it seems to be happening way too often. That's tragic. Damn. This is a somber live tonight, man. It's a lot of feelings here. You caught me right off the bat going with the 9/11 thing. You got me. You
Mhm.
did get me tonight.
Some scripture.
Well, yeah, some script. I mean, everything here. I mean, but it's just the whole thing is that this is real life, man. This is real life. And
I
that,
need the right energy, behind everything from now on.
yeah,
Sometimes we get lost in it, man, and we don't realize that we're serving two masters,
yeah, it's very
You
true.
can't
It's
you
very
can't do
true.
that. You can't do it.
When you think about there's a give and take in life, and there's our minds are there, and there's crazy shit going on all over, man. Don't let evil win. That's life. Don't let evil win.
And a lot of these people that fall victim to these true crime stories we talk about, they go out thinking they're going to go have another day at work. They're like, man, I don't want to go to work, or I don't really want to go shopping, or, I'm upset with my friend. Now I got to go over here. And then while they're living their life through these petty arguments, boom, true crime just comes through like a tornado.
It's true. It's
Swoops
true.
them right up. Life's over. Their family's devastated. Children don't have a parent. And
Yeah,
and then we even suffer from it because we just are so perplexed. How
yeah.
does this happen? How do we stop it? Who are these fucking guys that are doing this stuff?
Well, think about it this way, right? So there's us that get so invested, and then you have the mainstream media that it's excuse me, it's a 2 minute clip, and then that's it. And then maybe a year from now you'll get another 2 minute
Cut.
clip. But here it's we live it because it's drawn us in some way. There's something about each little case that's going to bring you in, and to me, it's the two girls, man. It's their families. It's just this is real life. You know,
And law enforcement, they don't have all the overtime in the world. They can't just constantly be looking at all this little stuff. And social media and web sleuth, I think they do a good job at picking through all this weird little information, you know what I mean? It's kind
it's
of
true.
like pro bono work. Like there's a
It's
lot of
true.
stuff that investigators do that you don't need training on, There's all this little stuff and then you got this big stuff that you need the training on. There's a lot of little tedious bullshit they got to go through and we kind of do all that like Reddit, Facebook, all
You,
these
you know who d- you know who
podcasts.
does that in the police station? The rookie does it. You
Yeah.
know, cell phone tower data. Here you go, guys. That no experience, but
Facebook,
he's gonna.
surfing
He's
through
gonna.
all the
Let me
Facebook
tell you something.
groups and
That guy who's got the cell tower data is gonna learn fucking quick on what he's looking for. You know, because
yep.
one of the most brutal jobs is going through a busy area with cell phone data. It is excruciating, but someone's
Yikes.
got to get it done, man. Yeah, someone's got to get it done, but it sucks. It really does, you know. And then the next tower comes in. Now you're going through that. It's a real bitch, man. Then you're triangulating shit. Not fun, you know. Not fun at all.
How do you want to spend the last 15 minutes?
Let's take some questions about it. We want to take questions about the whole thing. I'm sure
Yeah,
everybody
because they're
put some
coming.
time in and reading it.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
questions here. Let's start with Snail. I had 3 boys and a girl. Lost one in 2017, 26 years old.
Oh,
Wow. I'm sorry, Snail.
Snail, we are all
February
sorry.
6th, 2022. I mean, that was just recently.
Snail, I am beyond sorry. Can't even. Oof.
She had 2.
Oh, man. 2 children lost in 5 years. Wow.
How do you
Snail,
deal with that?
I that's what I was going to ask. I mean, I hope you're doing your best. I mean, can't imagine it. Oof.
Let me see what Anna says here. We don't know that any coins were left on the eyes or anywhere else. That's all rumors as far as I know. No, this is just a theory. This is
It's a theory,
Fig's
yeah.
theory. Yeah,
It's
and
a
it's a
theory.
great
There's
theory.
nothing wrong with
It's a
that.
great
It
theory.
is. It is. When the way Ives is describing how odd some of these things were, there's endless things that could fit that, you know? Endless. You know, I mean, we just don't know, you know, we don't. Oh man. Snail, my condolences. You hang in there and you live for your child that's here. You know, you do your best.
And I don't know, and I don't know if I can even if my father when he passes away, I don't know if I can handle that, dude.
Dude,
I don't think so.
my dad just turned 80 and I feel the same way. And you know what sucks is like our dads are our superhero, you know? That's just what
Yeah,
they are.
I love him so much,
And
dude.
and it's like each year I see a little bit more of the slowdown, you know, the slowdown. It just pulls at you, man. It really
Mhm.
does. I get that. I mean, you know,
He's doing good
stuff.
right now, but I still think about it.
Yeah, my dad's 80. He's got some COP. He's got some lung issues, but he's still in great shape for an 80-year-old man. I mean, you would
Good.
never look at him and say that man's 80. You just wouldn't, you know. Up until he was 70, you would think the guy was 50 years old. He just never aged.
Got those good genes, man.
That was from what we believe is Keegan had the stomach fetish. From what we can go at, you know.
Mm-hmm. Here's a long one. Let's see. Stephanie, she's going to give us some more information here. My son died from prolonged excited delirium secondary to meth. It was the most horrific thing I've ever seen. Drug dealers are predators too.
Stephanie, my heart aches for that. That is so terrible. And I do
I'm not good
understand.
with tragedy. I not
I
like I
know.
block it out. I
I know. But
I
I
don't know
understand
what
what
to
do you
do.
understand what she mean you understand what she means by that, right? The excited delirium.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're in a different realm for a you know, and
Hmm.
they can't come out. It's kind of well, it's different, but like would resemble like a K-hole in a sense, you know,
Yep.
somebody using ketamine on a, you know, heavy basis where they're kind of in psychosis. But I think this is more of a different, like more of excited and like overly amped, but it's tragic. Fucking drugs, man. I tell you.
Try to be happy because my kids wanted me to be happy and healthy. Once you feel the
Yeah.
pain I've had, not much bothers you.
Snail, so true though. Be happy and live every day for your child that's here. That's all you could do. And
God,
I'm sure your children want you to be happy and live your life. You
I
know,
don't know if
we
I
don't know
could do
when
it,
we
man.
know. I know.
I'd be like,
It's
sorry, child that's living, but like I'm gone. Like I'm a complete mess. Like there's nothing I can do. You know, like you're gonna have to go on
yeah.
without me.
It's tough, man. That's tough.
Oh,
This
we got a
is
super chat. Let's see what's going on. Lauren Dune, thanks for the discussion tonight. I'm a bit lost in the swirl of initials. Who is KF? That's a good question. Who is KF? Who's talking about KF?
I think somebody meant to hit KK, possibly.
Let me scroll up a little bit for you.
Oh, wait. Isn't there a fourth Keegan? There might be a fourth Keegan. That's just a person that's out there from around there. That might be it. I don't know.
His last name begins with a D.
No, there's another one on top of that. There
Oh.
was. I know that guy. There's another one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, on the court document.
Yeah, there's another one. That might be who it is. I think it's just. I don't think it's a nobody right now, Laura. I just think it's another Keegan that's out there. There's seems to be four of them. Oh, Joe, I'm sorry. That's tough. Man, this is an emotional live, man.
I know.
I'm telling
Good.
You
Let
had
it
me
out.
from 3. It's like you took a bat and hit me at 3 minutes in.
I'm very emotional, man.
It's
Like
been, I know, dude. It's
I'm
been a
trying my
somber live,
best.
man.
I'm trying my best to just
Wow.
hold on to that positive energy and that hold on to that spirit of
Well,
God, you know. It's the only thing
think
that
of
helps me.
this, but think of this when this does happen. Think of 6 a.m., right? Think of a 6 a.m. morning, a little chill in the air, right? And some random guy's door gets blown off the hinge and a massive flashbang goes in, okay? And the tiles on the floor explode along with the mirrors. That's to give us a little smile, okay? Because that will be an exciting day, okay? I would want to go there and shake. Oh, let me tell you something. That's it. When you know, okay, when you're in the know of the bang, great experience, okay? We had a guy at one time who lost the bang and it went off when it wasn't supposed to. And let me tell you the shit scare that you get. So when you don't know it's coming, it is your heart stops for a second. That's the sound of that thing in a house. But yeah, I believe it's coming. I believe we're getting very close.
I hope they serve I hope they serve a search warrant like that where they kick in his door and the media's there and they're dragging him in handcuffs. Oh man.
What do you think is going to be a knock? This is a no knock. This is a no knock with a bang. That's what it is.
I can't wait.
No knock, 6 a.m., bang bang. Very great. And bang bang, I mean flash bang, people. It's
zip ties.
It looks like a grenade, but it's not. It's an explosion, but it's a very loud explosion. It doesn't really. If it went off near you, it wouldn't blow you apart.
It's more of a flash.
But it does blow tiles off the floor. Yeah, it's to stun you. Okay, when you take the door, like when you take a door, if somebody's 10 feet away, when that thing goes off, it's an oh shit moment. So it doesn't matter what they're doing at that moment, they're going to be frozen for SWAT to get the handle. That's what it is. It's the element of surprise, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, you're not thinking about grabbing guns. You're too distracted, you know, by that flashbang.
Oh my God. No, you're hoping to hold your stomach when that goes off. Okay, you might have an accident. Okay, because we've had that happen before too. You know, while that person's in handcuffs, there might be a change of pants happening. You never know. KF.
Yeah, fill me in.
Possible ring.
Yeah,
KF? we are at a loss here with. Is the F for another Fouts possibly? So that might remember I brought up Fouts and I did see Fig put something up about
Curtis
Fouts. Yeah, that's Fouts.
What about
that's
him?
Who we're talking. That's
what
who that is.
Curtis
There it
Fouts?
is. No, that's the KF. It wasn't a Keegan. It's Curtis Fouts. There we go. Now we're back.
What about him? Judge Fouts?
No, I think that's remember she asked who KF was?
Yeah, it's Judge Fouts.
That's who it is. Sorry. Laura, he crushed me from 3 minutes in. My mind got frozen a little bit there. I think I got hit with that. I got hit with the flashbang today. Yeah, that's who it is.
Well,
Carol,
I don't think people know. Like you're from. Were you in the Bronx? Right? Was your beat or no?
Yeah. I was in the Bronx. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think people.
Valentin Avenue on Razor. You have no idea. Okay. And when you're with a guy when you're on the post like that with a guy who should not be working anymore. And you think you're going to be thrown off the roof in an apartment building. Not a fun experience. I'll just say that. Not a fun experience. You know, you don't poke at the gangs. You don't poke at the gangs with their 35, 40 people when there's two of you. Okay. And one guy is an absolute screwball. So yeah, it was many good times and many times where I told you I got thrown over a police car in front of the White Castle. I got literally, he was 320 pounds. It took 20 of us to finally get him under control. You know, my handcuffs, when I got my handcuffs on him, right, he was cutting his wrist. That's the reason we got called. He was sitting on a bench cutting his wrist. Fast forward an hour, Manhattan Homicide came in because he killed his girlfriend in Manhattan and got on the L and ended up in my precinct. But yeah, I was physically thrown over the police car. You know, I just remember the oh shit moment. I was in the air. I was over the lights. I'm going, what the hell just happened? You know, happens.
Reminds me of getting in bar fights.
Dude, he was so hyped on drugs. He was 315 pounds, monster. He was strong. And
hey, Sonny.
I don't know what happened. I was there. I hit him with my nightstick, and the next thing I knew, I was flying over the police car. When you think about it now, it's hysterical. But let me tell you something. When I was in midair, I was like,
your eyes were like this big.
Yes. Oh yeah.
What the?
Oh yeah. And then one of the other guys, one of the rookies, sprayed him, and he sprayed me. Now I got mace in my eye. Okay, and we're trying to fight this guy, and it was more or less like he just wanted us away from him. He wasn't trying to like kill us or anything. You know, I mean, he did drop his knife. The knife was down. He was just trying. He just wanted us to leave him alone.
Don't touch me. Yeah, don't touch me.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. But you know, let me tell you about the hospital room, right? So he's in the hospital room. Manhattan. The homicide comes. Now they're taking him. He's their guy. He murdered somebody. So the detective takes the handcuffs off and hands them to me. Right? I take my handcuff was in his wrist. That's how deep the cuts were. I took my handcuffs and threw them in the garbage. Right? I threw them right in the garbage. The guy goes, "What do you mean? You're going to throw those out?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" "You could bring them home and boil them in a pot of water and clean." I go, "Yeah, so then I got to throw the pot out. I got 4 more pairs. I'm good, thank you." You know, yeah. Let me touch those things without these gloves on. Oh, they were in his wrist. No thanks. But yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah, just bring them home and clean them. Okay, garbage.
Yeah,
you know, just the way it is.
I'll be okay.
Yeah, that'll be fine. I got plenty of pairs, no problem. But yeah, that was a fun night. Yeah, I got launched over a police car. Not many people could say that though. Not many cops could say they got thrown over their own police car.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Fucking airborne, man. Yeah, it was airborne. Yeah, I cleared the roof lights and everything. Oh yeah, yep. Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't roll over the police car. You got
no. I didn't think about when somebody gets thrown out of the ring in the Royal Rumble of wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was actually physically thrown directly. It was a Chevy Impala. They're pretty low to the ground. I cleared the roof. I didn't touch anything until I hit the ground, and I got up. I said, "Motherfucker!" I go, "Did he just throw me over?" It was a what? What the fuck? Yeah. Oh yeah. And dude, let me tell you something. The cars just kept piling. 1013 got called. You just saw cars were coming from everywhere. It took 20 of us to finally get him under arrest. You know, it was wild. It was wild,
insane, man.
Yeah, man. I got some stories for you, man. That was an interesting one. It really was. I'll tell you one day. I'll tell you about the guy with the elephantitis of balls. We'll get to that later. Different day. You have no idea. Just think of that picture. Got it? Think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Elephantitis on a DOA. Okay.
Wow.
Being a rookie and not understanding why the detectives are taking pictures of him when there's it's a natural cause death. He had a massive heart attack, and the guy looked like a sumo wrestler. Yes. Then when the funeral home came and took him out, the stretcher collapsed and he slid down and went into the wall. Okay, went through the sheetrock. Now I'm scared shit thinking, do I have to write another report that his head went through the wall? You have no idea, dude. I've seen some crazy shit. Some wild shit. Oh yeah, very insane. Tough job. You know, interesting job. I've been indispensable. Yeah, dude, I love my Fig, man. He's a good man.
Yeah, he's been crucial.
Colette, oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. That's tough. Yeah. Lost my grandmother, Alzheimer's, and it really was brutal on me as a kid. I was 22 when she passed.
Valoma Unstuck says, "I never chat much. Lurker at pro. She's a pro lurker.
I like it.
I did some lurking today.
You
But
gotta lurk a little bit.
But I thoroughly enjoy Delphi discussions and theories on this channel. Thought provoking. I'm glad you didn't leave us. Yeah, I'm not going to be intimidated out of here. You know,
Viloma, when you think about it, you never thought that within 3 minutes that this was going to turn into a very, heartfelt discussion, because this went to some places tonight. It really did. It went to some emotional places. I feel for Colette. I know that very well. My grandmother had Alzheimer's for like 7 years. And at the end, she was reciting just bingo numbers, and it was just brutal on me. It really was.
my
You
grandmother
remember
has
this?
dementia right now.
Yeah,
Tough.
I mean, you know what I'm saying. Like, you just remember, you remember this strong woman, and then you're just watching collapse.
Smart.
Like it's just,
She was really smart.
yeah, it's
My
brutal.
grandmother.
Sleuth
Yeah.
on Country Club Road.
It was a ping, right? It was where Keegan Kline was
Yes.
pinging during the crime. It was right
Yeah,
on
it's when
Country
he,
Club Road.
it's when he says he was at his grandparents,
He was looking
and
at
they tell
porn
him
too.
you're wrong. You connected to a Wi-Fi at a different residence.
Mhm.
That's the Country Club Road.
Or your phone did.
We're
anyway.
not going to really. We're not discussing who lives there right now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We not yet. We don't know.
Soon.
Yeah. Next question. Is there another one?
There's a bunch.
Well,
Let's see. Hey, essay. Hey, everyone. Please, we don't know who lives there. Please go investigate it yourself.
yeah, that's awesome, man. I think she was helping me out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love it.
She's badass.
Oh, that was great. That was classic. That was classic.
Please, for the love of God.
Oh man. Country club. Wait, Charlene, how do you know there's a country club in the Bronx? That's an area. Country club in the Bronx. Oh, it's a very nice area. It's part of the whole. A lot of the mafia back in the day lived in the country club section of the Bronx. I know that section very well. That might be my old precinct, but I'll leave that hanging. If anybody knows the Bronx, you might know that precinct.
So
East Tremont.
If Vinny had to make any moves, he had to go grease up old CD first.
Yeah, tattoo scene. Well, I'll tell you. You want a funny story, right? There's when you get hired in the city and you get your precinct, you're given like a list of places you can't go that are like the off limits. And there's like a fast food place, Checkers. Never understood why I couldn't go to Checkers. Nobody ever told me. I just knew when I was in Co-op City, I wasn't allowed to go to Checkers and eat there. Looked pretty good. It was like a racing themed place. Not allowed to go there. Never paid attention to on these streets. You're not supposed to go here. I'm on a foot post as a rookie. I'm standing outside. Some guy reads my name tag. He says, "Hey, you're Italian." I'm like, "Oh yeah, hey, yeah, I am. How are you?" "Oh, come on inside." I thought it was a business, dude. I had no idea what I was walking into. Right? Walk in the place. I walk in. I'm like, they're playing cards. Where the fuck am I? All of a sudden, I hear the chirp of a siren outside. I go, I'm in trouble. You hear a chirp, and you're not. I'm like, I'm done. I'm over. That's it. I walk outside, and there's a sergeant in an unmarked car. He goes, "Hey, officer, let me scratch your book." So you have this like book that's stuck in, and it's your whole day, and where you are. And he's like, "Let me scratch your book." So as he's scratching my book, he goes, "You know where you just were in?" I go, "I didn't know where I was until I walked in." He goes, "That's an off limits place, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know that now, and I see the business that's across the street. I put two and two together. I will never go there again." Yeah, it was a mafia hangout. I'll just say that, and thank God he was cool about it. I didn't know, what I'm saying. It actually had a business sign until you walked inside, and it wasn't the business sign,
Veloma's trying to grease us up, dude.
Oh, toss a little stay bribery. Veloma, you like it? Now Veloma doesn't speak, and we got 2 stickers slopped in there. Very nice. So you're liking our? They like. I guess they like some
officially
like
greased.
Stories. But can you imagine though, dude? I was in a Italian social club without knowing until I walked in the door.
And it's very real. It's still very real.
It's 100% real. It's like
to this day.
It's to this day. There's social clubs. Absolutely. They'll never go anywhere. They won't go anywhere. But the guy was just being a kind of nice guy. He said, "Oh, come in." It was hot. He offered me to come inside. I went inside. I thought I was at a dry cleaners until the door opened and I went inside. And then the oh shit moment happened. That just shows you can't trust people whose doors are closed and there's a little tint on the windows. Don't go inside if you're a rookie. You gotta stay away.
They're tinted for a reason.
Still want to know why I wasn't allowed in Checkers in 2002, but nobody's answering me. Still, yeah. When was this? I was on the phone with my dad and heard him pass out. I hope this wasn't tonight, and I hope he's doing okay. There's too much going on tonight. Yes,
Let it out.
the
Let it out.
AS account pinged to the residents on a road leading onto. No, it actually was on Country Club Road, and he connected to the Wi-Fi there. Because that's why they kind of pressed him hard and said, "You're lying to us. You weren't at your grandparents. You were at this residence where you connected to their Wi-Fi."
Not only that, they told him what he was looking up. They're like, not only do we
Yeah.
know where you
Oh, they know.
were, we know
Yeah.
what you were
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah,
Like, why are you
that's
lying,
where
man?
that's where his like, fuck, that wasn't true. Like, you could tell when he's lying. It's like he only gives a couple word answers when he's lying. You know, it's the story time with the weed business that just kept going and going. We
Liar.
don't need to be worried about. He is. There's COVID and scar tissue in my brain. Oh, I'm sorry, Anna. So Anna has that long-term COVID that's out there. That is a
Yeah,
real
I
deal.
read it.
My brother-in-law, very, very guy, works out every single day of his life. He's 36 years old, and he was sick for 9 months with COVID. His neck actually swelled up like a lizard, dude. You know those lizards that can swell their neck?
Yeah.
It was hard, dude. It was horrifying. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He FaceTime. He goes, "What do you think I should do?" I go, "You better go to the ER right now." You know, like, what do you think? Why are you calling me?
That's
You
me,
know?
dude, all the way. Like,
Yeah,
I don't go
yeah.
to hospitals.
Dude,
Like,
he's 36
my
years
leg
old.
got cut
Okay.
off. What should I do?
Okay. He's 36 years old. Okay. I've known him since he's 21 years old. Since I've been, since I was dating my wife. Whenever a text comes in, it says, "Are you awake?" I know there's usually a problem, So that "Are you awake" text came in. I'm like, yeah. And then the FaceTime call, and I'm like, dude, go to the hospital. There's something wrong with your neck. You look like a lizard. Hurry up. I didn't get notification.
Lizard. How's he doing? He's okay now?
No, he's doing fine now. But last summer,
He's not a lizard
he
anymore?
got better. No, he's not a lizard anymore. His neck is back to
Good.
normal. But no, that went away. And then 2 months later, he couldn't breathe. We were at a family party. He's like, "I can't breathe." He had like that ground glass stuff all over his lungs. Things just kept repeating from COVID. It was one thing after another. But he's fine now, thank God. But when people hear long-term COVID, it is real.
Hannah Lee's, she's still trying to figure out what's going on with the Country Club Road and the, what is it, Papa or whatever? Papa Pike.
Yes. Papa
Yeah,
Pike.
people are, they're
But what didn't she hear? He connected to the Wi-Fi there. He was lying.
but
Keegan
isn't
was
it also,
lying.
it's his grandparents live there, right?
They're very close to there, yes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't his grandparents' Wi-Fi that he connected to.
Mm-mm.
His grandparents' house is very close to there.
I'm wondering if they may have been working maybe under the table there at the country club, him and some people, or he just knew that they had free Wi-Fi. Maybe they just go there to use the Wi-Fi, because he always talked about not paying for his service. I'll just use Wi-Fi. Like, what do I need to pay for service for?
That's true. Yep. Because at one time he didn't even have service. He was just messaging when he had Wi-Fi. I don't know. I like that character with the. Was that Hello Kitty? I think it's Hello Kitty, isn't it?
Oh, the face mask,
right? Yeah, I think it's a Hello Kitty face mask.
Looks like a bear.
Or a dog.
Yeah, it could be a dog. Puppy dog.
One of the above. I'm still laughing about getting thrown over the police car. Okay, that's where my mind's still triggering to. Okay, I'm still remembering that flight I took.
Yeah,
took a quick flight.
For some reason, I picture it as you like spinning over it, and not just getting tossed.
It was
kind of like a helicopter, like.
No, it was more of a like grab and just like it was more of a Royal Rumble throw where I touched nothing and just landed on my shoulder and got up and said, "What the fuck just happened? Did that guy really launch me over the car?" And then I went in again and I got maced in one of my eyes and I was so pissed. How do you mace your own partner? How does that happen? Fucking pay attention. It wasn't like a downwind hit. No, he hit me directly in my eye, Sleuth. He saw me. He was nervous. He sprayed my eye. I was so pissed. Have you ever been pepper sprayed?
Yeah, like I used to be in bar fights all the time, and a guy after I beat his ass in the bar, he waited for me outside.
What, he smoked the whole bar? Oh, he hit you outside.
Yeah, so as soon as I left, I walked outside and he just sprayed me from the side, but I was able to get my hands on them though. Still,
Yeah. But did you
yeah, it
get a
was pretty
direct
bad.
hit where everything just opened?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it's
couldn't
so
see
gross. When you
anything.
think it just you can't see and just your nose
Mm-mm.
opens, it's so gross. It's so freaking gross, you know.
It was horrible.
I would take being tased any day over being pepper sprayed. No, it just doesn't
Been tased
be
also
yeah,
before, just for the hell of it.
pepper
Me
spray.
and my cousin, we
Yeah,
were
no,
tasing each
yeah.
other.
Listen, that yeah, sometimes that can be fun. Yeah, everybody has their own enjoyment of what they like, but being pepper
Knuckleheads, man. We
sprayed
were knuckleheads.
it just doesn't work for me. It just really doesn't. My nose
Well, you're
can't
so
handle it.
helpless. You're blind.
Oh God,
Yeah.
but you can't stop. I mean, especially trying to rest. It just everything's just pouring out of you. You're getting it all. It's just disgusting. It's so
And it
disgusting.
takes a while
If
too.
anybody
It's
has
a
never
good
seen
20
it,
minutes. It's a good 20
oh
minutes. You're
yeah,
done.
oh yeah. And then your instinct is to rub, and that's the worst thing you could do. The worst thing you could do is rub. If you ever get pepper sprayed, anybody out there, never rub it. You got to keep your hands away from your eye. You
I
know,
think I
you're
got
just
maced.
making it worse.
I don't think it
Yeah,
was pepper
but just
spray. I think it was
but
mace.
it just depends on the level of the percentage of the pepper that's in it. You know, it's all the same shit, but it's just we have the strong stuff. You know, let me tell you something. There are some druggies that are so hyped up that they don't even feel it, dude. You could spray that whole container at them, and it doesn't. They're licking it. I'm not. Yeah,
It's like a wild animal.
you get a cracker going, man. Dude, You're spraying them, and they're licking it, and they're getting even more pissed off. Oh yeah,
Putting it on
oh
the
yeah,
burrito.
yeah, yeah.
Some
Dude,
salsa.
we had a guy one time. I'll tell you a really funny story. We had to pull up this little bar, and it's a seedy bar. I mean, you know it shouldn't be there, you know. And one of the guys I was with, he was walking up alone. It was an alcohol check. You're checking the licenses. It happens. You have to do it like every 6 months. But the guy that was sitting in the bar, the cop that was walking in, he arrested a family member the week before. So this guy was all drunk, hyped up. Dude, the fucking door kicked open like the Wild West. And he says the cop's name. He goes, "You're going to die tonight, dude, Sleuth." I could close my eyes and see it, right? So, dude, he attacked them, right? So it was like 5 of us, whatever. I mean, I'll tell you, the company Asp that makes these expandable batons, I
Yeah.
was given their brand new handcuffs at the time. Dude, this guy was able to bust out of the handcuffs while he was cuffed.
Damn.
Yeah, his nose got broken after that. He kind of fell, but that wasn't my fault. Anyway,
It was his fault.
you know, the whole thing. The whole thing was his fault. We weren't there for him. He just saw the guy. So the whole funniest part about it is this guy goes to work that Monday, right? And he sees a guy it's like there's people that were connected with the story. He sees a guy and he tells him, so the guy's like, "Fuck, what happened to your face?" You know, his nose is broken. He was getting pummeled on the ground. He was beating the shit out of a cop. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
He tells this fucking guy at his job, "I was at a bar. I'm minding my business. I had one beer, and the cops came in and beat the shit out of me." Okay, buddy, that is so not what happened. Okay, he kicked that door open. "You're gonna die tonight." It was like a movie scene, you know. And the whole thing is like you're coming from different angles because at the
He
end
was
of the day,
shit faced, huh?
bombed. And he was doing lines of it was like listen, the
Oh.
bartender got locked up. They were doing lines of coke on the bar. It is, you know, that's what I'm saying. It was a seedy bar. Half the bar got locked up after went inside. But the
Selling
whole thing is
drugs at the bar and
make
everything.
it. We didn't even get to the door before the attack happened. But when he kicked the door open, I giggled because I thought it was hysterical. You know, I didn't think he really was going to try and fight him, but he went right at him, dude. He grabbed at his neck, and it was a battle. You know, too bad for his nose. Anyway. You know, don't fight the cops.
It'll be a reminder.
Dude, you don't look like you get stung by 50 hornets if you don't fight the cops. I mean, really, you know? Yeah. Oh, he actually, he had a knife in his cowboy. He was wearing where's cowboy boots?
Well, you don't
He had
kick in a
cowboy boots
door.
on.
And
No, he kicked the door out. And the door went. He kicked the door. You're gonna die tonight. I mean, think about that.
It's like a country song.
Let me explain something to you. This guy has had a history of being hyped up on all kinds of amphetamines and always fought the cops. This one he lost pretty bad, you know. But imagine going to work and telling a totally different story. "Oh, I was drinking my first beer."
Maybe he really. That's how he might he might actually remember it that way.
Well, he could remember it however he wants. That's not how it happened. Okay, you know what happens. You know what happened when you kick that door open. Too bad. You know. Yep.
All right,
Yep.
CD.
And I had
I'm
a
completely out of time here. What do
dude,
you
no problem.
how do you want to finish?
I want to finish with it was a great live. It turned into more of emotion than anything else. I
Yeah,
don't think we got through the whole document, but that is okay because
I think
sometimes
it's
we have to
okay
be
for that.
humans. I
Yeah.
think we have to be humans, and I
Hmm.
think even just talking about Kelsey got me tonight,
Yeah.
because we're
We don't
really
have to be
feeling
tough all the time. We don't have to
no,
act tough and
we're feeling the real emotions, and
mhm.
it sucks, but with a case like this, it's being played out for us to watch, and that's a tough thing. It is, So I feel for them, and dude, hopefully that 6 a.m. thought is coming. That's a great way for everybody out there to smile, thinking about somebody's door that we don't know getting their hinges blown off, and that little flashbang.
I hope they drop it right in his lap.
Well, it depends where
You
he's
know what I
sitting
mean?
because there's no
Right
looking.
in his lap.
You don't
Right in
look
his
when you,
lap.
dude. That you have to understand. That's the sideways
Boxers
throw.
and everything, just right
Nobody's
there.
looking. So hopefully, if that lands on his
Eh,
balls, it's not going to be a
maybe they
fun
could
bang.
do a little. Maybe they could do a little looking. A little aiming.
Yeah. Well,
Can you do, if
the
you're
whole
listening? Do me a favor.
yeah.
Do a little aiming.
They could be listening, and let me tell you something. If they're listening, they will get a chuckle out of that because they know the sidearm throw I'm talking about. That's like when you threw a pack of jumping jacks as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Yeah.
sidearm. Yeah, it's not like
Some
you're not
dice.
looking, because at the end of the day, it's about the element of surprise. You don't know what's behind the door, so that going in and the bang doesn't matter what that person has. You're going to get the second on them. That's what it is. It's the gain. It's when you're gaining entry. It's just the gain. You're getting the advantage over them. So that's what
Maybe they
that
can come in
flying
with
bang
some of those
does.
less than lethal shotgun beanbag rounds.
No, 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 no.
A couple of those in the
Not,
throat,
no,
maybe.
not at this house. This is
No,
a MP5. Little A10. That's what goes in. AR-15s.
little
This isn't.
backdoor
This is
smashing.
what. Let's rewind to 22517. There were 20 cars there. That's how it was described as from a person that lives near there, who is supposedly, from what I've learned, very well respected in his commentary on Delphi, and he knew about Peru and said that
I don't think it was a
basically
no
nobody
knock though.
knew. No, it wasn't a no. What I'm just saying is that they came with a team. They knew,
Yeah,
they knew his history. They knew when you know the criminal history is violent, there's no playing. The SWAT team's going in first. That's just the way it is. Doesn't matter if it's a knock warrant, what it is. It's that you want the tactical team there. So there's no injuries. I mean, that's just the way it is for their safety and your safety. It's not just about you.
it's like you answer the door, or we will kick it in type of
Yeah.
situation.
Well, no, I'm sure that the search warrant had a no knock in it, but it wasn't a no knock. It's basically like they're gaining entry. You're there if they're getting in. You're not opening the door, we're coming in.
Okay,
That
we'll
kind
give
of
you
thing.
that. We'll give you a quick little chance.
But
All right.
always great talking. Always great hanging out with everybody. But
I
everybody saw the
appreciate it.
human in us tonight.
Yeah, felt
They
good.
really got the human. Dude, no, it does. Dude, we gotta be grounded. We gotta understand what they're feeling too. Yeah, Jill, I got some wacky ones. I can't even tell you. Okay. I had a partner who was a psycho, and he would do anything possible to disturb me on a DOA. Down to him eating his hamburger that he went out. He's like, "Oh, I'll be right back." He went and got his food. I cannot do that. There's a time and place to eat, and it's not in an
Mhm.
apartment where somebody lost their life. But
Yeah.
there might have been rigor mortis where somebody's hands were up, and this asshole was eating his cheeseburger, and he kept slapping him five. So that's the shit that
Jesus.
you have to understand that there's cops. It's like you have to be able to.
Desensitized too.
That's what it is. And he knew how to bother me. So he was breaking my charm. He's biting a cheeseburger and, "Oh, you want some?" I'm like, "Will you fucking stop? Will you please stop?" But that's just, the whole thing is that if you're not able to joke around, even in that scenario, you never last on that job, And it's not that you're
Yeah.
doing it on purpose to hurt that, you do respect that person. He was just busting my chops, but it's just stuff like that, I got
Yeah.
a lot of stories we could go through,
Yeah, I can't wait.
but it
I
was a
can't
good
wait to
night,
hear
man.
some of them.
You
Yeah, and another thing,
definitely humanized me at the jump. Bang.
that was my
Yeah.
intention.
I think it was. I think that's where we went tonight. You know, you have
Well,
Braveheart behind you.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. It's like you set this up. You got Braveheart behind you, okay, and then you hit me with the slugger. Let's talk about 9/11. You know, let's bring it down. That's another one of my lieutenants had a burping problem. So think about a lieutenant trying to talk to you, and every 2 seconds he burps. He's like, "Burp, excuse me," and they're like, "What the fuck's going on?" You know,
like,
when I
really,
first
dude?
met him, I'm thinking that it was just like he was doing it to like joke with me, and then I realized that he had a very bad indigestion problem that he could not get fixed, and he would constantly burp at you on the radio, burp, and you're like, "Oh my God, what is happening?" But yeah, that's, you know, we're humans. You know, we have burping problems and everything else. But yeah, you
And when
set
we
this up tonight.
fall, and we
Yeah.
make mistakes, I want everybody to remember not to beat yourself up over it. You know,
No.
sometimes we stumble. Don't judge yourself too harshly. Just pick
No,
yourself back
never.
up and go right back down the right path. We all
If
stumble
we
and fall.
don't make mistakes, we wouldn't be human beings.
Mhm.
You know, we're meant to make mistakes. It's about what you learn from it. You
Yeah.
know,
Be
just
better.
like saying people,
Get
when
better.
people think about people who go into business for themselves and they think, "Oh, I failed." You know how many times these massively successful business people fail before they get it right? You know what I'm saying?
Hundreds of
You don't
thousands of
stop.
times.
You know, if anybody give anybody a life lesson, never stop at what you want to do. You know, never
Mhm.
stop. You know, do what you want and keep going. That's what life's about. You know, I tell my kids all the time, you're going to be whatever you want, whatever. I don't care what you want to. If you want to sort coffee beans, you can sort coffee. Just the mentality of what you want to do, you focus on, and that's what you're going to be. You know, it's the kids that aren't focused that don't know shit about where they're going because their parents don't guide them. You got to guide your kids, man.
Mhm.
You know, you got to be there
And
for your
just be
kids.
there. Yeah, just be there for them.
Yeah,
Really, just be there.
dude. How many times do I say it? Have a talk with your kids about social media. Whatever you, it's not for me to say, but whatever you feel is the right age, have that talk. You have people like that gremlin on the other end trying to gain access to your kids.
And they take
Please
their
guide your
sweet
kids.
time. This is a chess game for these
Yep.
sickos. They will take
Yep.
months and even
Dude,
years
exactly.
to break away at
If
your
they
kids.
could keep it, it's all about keeping the conversation going until the trust is built. So please have that conversation with your kids.
Grooming is what they call it.
Yeah, it is. It is. You know, it is. Dude, the whole thing is they know when it changes from just a, oh, I might have them to they have them. They know when it changes for them.
CD, what's your email? People are wanting to send you messages to get your perspective, law enforcement perspective.
Analysis of a crime at gmail.com. Like, why can't I do this while I'm talking? ANALYSIS of a crime at gmail.com. You could send me an email anytime. Oh, peace. You could email me tonight and I'll give you whatever you need on that. Whatever you need. Anything I could help you with, I will help. If I got a call there, I'll call there. I don't give a shit. Whatever I could do. Because when they hear a retired cop call them, I'll get you somewhere. Promise on that. Red Zeppelin, that's what I think. There's an interconnection, but I don't think crimes are the killer. Well, Anna, you might want to, you know, if you don't think the killers, do you at least think that at least one of them was there? I hope. I'm hoping. Truth.
They know the killer.
Business soon. Exactly, JT. Do it, man. Don't psych yourself out. You go for it, man. You'll get there. Build it slow. You know. Don't ever get psyched out. You'll get there, man. Just keep pushing. That's what it's about.
We'll post it up on the screen for you. You can
Absolutely, man.
You can sponsor a Sleuth Intuition channel.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. But whoever said that to you, Sleuth, make sure that maybe I'll type my email out there so she has it.
Do we have mods? Let me see if one of the mods will do it for us. Can you punch in CD's email address there?
Yeah, analysis of a crime at gmail.com. Whatever I can help her with, I will. I'll help you tonight.
And
I don't care.
is your email address is it on your YouTube channel? On your about page?
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
Okay, so his channel is linked here in the description. Yeah. Click on that, go to his about section, and you'll find his email address, everybody.
Yep. And I will do whatever I can for you tonight. Before I go to sleep, I'll give you an answer of what you need. No issue.
All right, CD. I want to thank you again for showing up. I want to thank the entire chat. Great questions. Thanks for hanging out. Dude, I can't wait to do this again.
Yeah, we'll do it again. Just don't hit me from the beginning, all right? Please.
I won't. No Braveheart, no Bible quotes, no strings, no heartstrings.
No, but I'm gonna tell you something. I think everybody knew. You almost broke me there. I just want to. You almost got me. You really did. You did. You almost
I'm
got me, man.
emotional today, and I didn't want to be the
I
only
know,
one. I didn't want to be the
dude.
only one.
I mean, Christ, I think you planned it, man. You hit me
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. I
Fig,
didn't want to. I didn't
three-headed
want to be the
monster.
only
You better come up
heartbroken
next time.
person.
I know, man. It's just, it's just, we're human and we're feeling it for them. We really are.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it hard. I understand the hurt that document can cause. I do. I 100% do. And let's put it this way: if Murder Sheet knew whatever answer they gave, they were going to do it anyway. Why do it? Why contact them? That's what we
They're
said.
making
But
a
why?
move. They're making their move for publicity.
Oh, and I saw you said that you were threatened with copyright. I mean, you know what?
Uh,
This is the Delphi community. This is a community where a lot of people are helping together. Why the hell does
well, let's
anybody
clear.
care if you're
Let's
showing their
clear this up.
podcast?
Let's clear this up. They cared. They didn't care that I was sharing the information. Like people like to assume what they want, but they
Yeah,
did threaten me with copyright. That's how they addressed the
because you
email.
were playing it, right? Because you were
Yeah, in
playing it.
big bold
Yeah.
letters, it said copyright violation. You need to
Yep.
stop.
Yeah.
But the reason they wanted me to stop wasn't because of the information. They just didn't want me to play their
No,
podcast.
because you have a decent subscriber account and you're taking away from
Yeah.
their views. And
Mhm. But I had it in the description. I shared it on
Yeah.
my channel. I told them, "Hey, go check them out." I'm also
I
going to be
understand it,
showing it
but to an
live.
extent.
So, yeah,
Yeah, I understand it. I understand that,
I
it
get
is
it.
their property. I get that. But at the same time, this is Delphi case. Let's work together. Let's
Mhm.
work together. This isn't
Yeah.
about how many views you get.
And
It's
don't be
not.
tempted. You're
It's
going to be
not.
tempted by that devil. The devil's going to tempt you to
Look at
distract
how
you.
this guy almost
Stay away
broke me
from
over
that.
here. I can't even point out. This guy over here almost broke me tonight within 3 minutes. Tried to
I
take me
had you.
down here.
I
Damn,
had
he did
you.
have me, man. Jesus. But yeah, dude, as always, a great night. We always get a good night. Next time we got to get Fig. I want to get the three-headed monster up here.
Yeah, let's get Fig back.
Because I know he got a chuckle at some of my stories tonight.
Maybe we can get maybe we'll bring Bloke over here.
Yeah, whatever. Dude, let's
See what
do
he
it.
thinks.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm
he's always
down.
welcome
Whatever
over
we
here.
got. Dude,
All
more
right,
the
man.
merrier.
Let's call it a night.
I'm from New York, so that's why I cut people off. I don't do it on purpose. I always see in the comments and I laugh hysterical. I don't try and talk over anybody. I'm not trying to instill power. I think somebody said one time, like, can CD cut the power trip down? That's not what I'm trying to do, man. It's just my mind's firing and I got to get it out,
Yeah, it's my duty to keep up with you is the way I look at it.
Yeah,
I don't need you to
it's all
change.
good, man.
I'm just learning to keep up.
No,
I think I'm getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you did. Absolutely. I'm hard to get used to, fly in different directions,
I'm getting your timing.
Look, I got the new heads. There's a lot going on in here, man. I got to get it out.
Oh, I thought that was a haircut.
No, I got a haircut too, but it is what it is.
I got a haircut
A lot
too.
going on. Yeah, had double basketball games tonight for my daughter, and it's been a rough day. My little guy, 18 months old, he's killing me.
Man.
So cute, but he is kicking my ass.
Who does
but once
he
he
take
says,
after?
"Dad," that he's me, 100%.
Nice.
I think all my kids have my personality, which is my son is the worst. My 6-year-old. He is me. He is like my identical child.
Oh.
It's like the gene pool totally went to me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I tell my wife all the time. I go, "We are so fucked with him. You don't even know." She's like, "Why do you say that?" I go, "Because I remember when I was 6, and I did the same thing. I used to hit my older siblings with the wiffle ball bat." Duct taped up. Oh, I would crank them. Dude, they're 5 years older, and you can hit them with whatever you got, So I'm getting like when you're a kid and you hear like your aunt,
man.
You're gonna get one just like you. You're okay.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. I got him. Okay, I got him, and I'm being challenged every single day. It's hysterical.
As soon as
but that's
13,
life, dude.
as soon
That's
as
life.
13 came around is when I understood what my parents meant by that.
Yeah, well, he's 6 and he's really challenging me. What we can do, dude? That's what it's all about, man. It really is. I think it's hysterical to have a mini me. I just know what's coming, and it's just scary. I got to get him to be a cop very young. We're gonna have problems,
Yeah.
Get him into law enforcement so he doesn't flip he doesn't flip to the other side. Can't let him go to the dark side like Vader. I don't want my son being Vader. He's got to be a Jedi. That's the way I got to look at it.
Yeah, I was
I
went to the dark side as a teenager for sure.
I got him watching Star Wars for some reason. He likes those red sabers. I'm like, we can't go that way. We got to go this way. You know, when we think about Star Wars, you got to think about that, though, right? You don't think about it's about like good and evil, but that's what this is all about. You know, Vader turned. He turned. You can't let your kid do that.
And sometimes it's even about the confusion between like what is right and what's wrong.
100%. I was just 100%.
Mhm.
It's like each side perceives it that they're right. It's crazy
Exactly.
when you think about
Mhm.
it, you know? Star Wars
Perception.
went very in depth from the beginning. It's all about the perception and what people are feeling, you know? I'm going
It's
to
a good
follow that.
analogy.
I love that part. Yeah, it is. Well, good night, dude. Everybody, good night. You kept us here an extra 30 minutes from your super sticker. He almost broke me. Where is it?
Next time.
That way.
Next
That
time.
way.
Next time I'll get you.
Yeah, next time you start that, I'm just gonna like say my camera went down and I'll come back on a couple minutes later. Because that, but we'll just
But we'll
avoid that one
still
again.
know. We'll
Yeah,
still
you
know.
probably will. But yeah, that was a good one. Good night, guys.
All right,
Jake,
everybody
good
take
night,
care.
everybody.
We're signing
Do it
off.
again, man.
Thanks again,
Signing off.
CD. Take care, buddy.
All right, man. Arrivederci.